ahead with the next type of equations that we will learn to solve. So these are equations which are reducible to linear form. So here the equations would still be linear equation, but they will not appear in the same conventional form of linear equation. So the way they will appear to us would look complex, but we will see how we can reduce them to the usual form of linear equation. So whenever you find an equation of this form, where you have a numerator divided by denominator is equal to a numerator divided by a denominator, where these numerators and denominators are algebraic expressions, like they could be anything like 2x plus 3x plus 9x plus 1 y plus 2, so anything of this sort. So whenever you have an equation of this form, something like this, let's take an example. 2x plus 3 divided by x plus 9 is equal to 1 by 2, or sometimes even on this side you might have these kind of expressions. So when you have an equation of this form, now when you look at this equation, it doesn't look that simple like the usual linear equation, right? So you feel that don't know what to do. So the only thing that you need to do in this case is your first step should be to cross multiply. Now what do we mean by cross multiply? Cross multiply means you multiply the denominator on the right hand side to the numerator of left hand side. Similarly, you multiply the denominator of left hand side with the numerator on right hand side. So that is called cross multiplication. So in this case, what will happen in that case? 2 into 2x plus 3 will be equal to 1 into x plus 9. So that is what you will get. So in this case, 2 into 2x would be 4x plus 2 into 3 would be 6, and this side it would be x plus 9. Right? So basically, you know, what are we doing when we are cross multiplying? Now basically when we are cross multiplying, we are actually multiplying this denominator on both sides. It is the same thing if you multiply x plus 9 on both sides. Now why are we doing this cross multiplication? To keep things simple, because every time when you have to multiply something on both sides, first you will think what I have to multiply, then you will multiply that, so it will take more time. In this case, you just know all you need to do is you need to cross multiply with the denominator on the other side. So this is what you get. Now you put all the variables on one side like this and all the constants on the other side. So you get 3x is equal to 3, or x is equal to 3 divided by 3, that is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1 would be a solution for this equation. So you see, even though the equation looked complex, but we could very easily solve it. Now one important thing that needs to be noted here is this rule is applicable only for equations in this form, and this rule is strictly not applicable for different forms of equation. For example, if you have an equation of this form, x by 2 minus 1 by 5 is equal to x by 3 plus 1 by 4. Now is this equation in this form? This equation is numerator by denominator minus numerator by denominator. But here we said it should be numerator by denominator equal to numerator by denominator. So in this case, this rule will not be applicable. So you should not start cross multiplying here. So this will not be applicable for this case. However, if you have an example like x minus 1 by 2 is equal to x plus 1 divided by 12. So here you see it is in the same form, numerator by denominator, numerator by denominator. So here this rule would be applicable. So you can directly cross multiply. Again, let's take one more example. 6x plus 1 divided by 3 plus 5 is equal to x minus 9 by 2. So in this case, on the right hand side, it is in the form of numerator by denominator. But on the left hand side, it is not in that form. Here you have numerator by denominator plus a number. So therefore, here also overall the rule will not be applicable. So with these examples, what I am trying to tell you is where exactly can you actually apply this concept of cross multiplication to solve the equation. So now you might say that, okay, fine. So we will be able to apply this concept only where this particular form holds true. But what about all these complex forms? Because even these look more complex. So how are we going to solve them? So how are you going to solve these complex equations? Next tip, that is tip number 2. So let's say whenever you have equations in the form of numerator by denominator plus numerator by denominator is equal to numerator by denominator. So when you have something of this form, in that case what we do, we multiply both sides by LCM of denominators to get an equation in linear form. So things will become clear only when we take an example. So first of all, let us take an example in this form. Let's say x by 2 minus 1 by 5 is equal to x by 3 plus 1 by 4. So let's say this is our equation. So this satisfies the form. Okay, fine. Now let us try to find out the LCM. Now what would be the LCM of the denominators? What are the denominators here? So here the denominators are 2, 5, 3, 4. So if you find out the LCM of 2, 5, 3, 4, what would be the LCM? The LCM would come out to be 60. Just try to find out LCM of 2, 5, 3, 4. So you would get something like this. So 2 into 2, 4 into 3, 12 into 5, 60. Therefore, the LCM would be 60. Now what you do? Multiply both sides by this LCM. So that means x by 2 into 60 minus 1 by 5 into 60 is equal to x by 3 into 60 plus 1 by 4 into 60. So we have multiplied everything, both the sides by 60. So this would be 2 into 30. So this would be 30x minus this would be 5 into 12, 60 minus 12. This would be 3 into 20. It would be 20x plus 4 into 15. So this would be 15. So now again we follow the same thing. Collect the variables on one side. So it would be 30x minus 20x is equal to 15 plus 12. Or we can say 10x is equal to 27. Or x is equal to 27 by 10. So x equal to 27 by 10 would be a solution for this equation. So here you see what the only thing that we need to do is first we need to find out the LCM. So once we have found the LCM, then the entire work becomes very, very easy. So these are the tips that you need to remember. So looking at the equation, first you need to decide what is the form of that equation, and then accordingly you have to take the first step. So now I am sure that you must be confident to solve such equations as well. So let's look at an example of one of these equations. So let's say you are given an equation like this: n by 2 minus 3n by 4 plus 5n by 6 is equal to 21. So this is of which form? Type 1 or type 2? So this is of the form type 2. So here we'll apply our tip 2. So in that case what we do? We have to find out the LCM of the denominators. So here the denominators are 2, 4, 6. So this is how we find out the LCM, and the LCM comes out to be 12. 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12. So now multiply both sides by 12. So our next step is multiply both sides by 12. So this would be n by 2 into 12 minus 3n by 4 into 12 plus 5n by 6 into 12 is equal to 21 into 12. So this is 2 6s are 12. So this is 6n minus this would be 4 3s are 12. So this is 9n plus 6 2s are 12. So this is 10n is equal to 21 into 12. So we keep it as it is as of now. So now this side we solve, it becomes 16n minus 9n is equal to 21 into 12, or this becomes 7n is equal to 21 into 12, or n is equal to 21 into 12 divided by 7. So 7 3s are 21. So this would be 12 into 3, that is 36. So x is equal to 36 would be a solution for this equation. So you see, solving them is pretty easy. You just need to understand which concept or which process you need to apply. So let's look at question number 1. Solve x minus 5 divided by 3 is equal to x minus 3 divided by 5. So this equation belongs to which form? Type 1 or type 2? So which tip are we going to apply? Tip 1 or tip 2? So this is going to be applicable for tip 1 because here we have it in the form of numerator by denominator equals to numerator by denominator. So what will we do here? We will simply cross multiply. So let's cross multiply. We get 5 into x minus 5 is equal to 3 into x minus 3. So this becomes 5x minus 25 is equal to 3x minus 9. Or we can say 5x minus 3x is equal to minus 9 plus 25. Or 2x is equal to 16. Or x is equal to 16 by 2. So this is equal to 8. So x equal to 8 is the solution for this equation. Question number 2. Solve m minus 1 by 2 is equal to 1 minus m minus 2 divided by 3. So this equation obviously goes to type 2 because you have numerator by denominator plus numerator by denominator of that form at least. So that plus can be replaced by minus. So all those things are fine, but it is in that form. So here we will have to take the LCM of the denominators. So LCM of the denominators would be equal to 6. So now we multiply both sides by 6. So m into 6 minus m minus 1 by 2 into 6 is equal to 1 into 6 minus m minus 2 by 3 into 6. So therefore what do we get? We get 6m minus 2 3 is 6. So this would be 3m minus 1 is equal to 6 minus 3 2 is 6. So this would be 2 into m minus 2. So here it becomes 6m minus 3m plus 3 is equal to 6 minus 2m plus 4. Therefore, we will put all the variables on left hand side, that is 6m minus 3m plus 2m is equal to 6 plus 4 minus 3. So this would be 6 plus 2, 8m minus 3m, that is 5m is equal to 10 minus 3. So this would be equal to 7, or we can say m would be equal to 7 by 5. So m equals to 7 by 5 would be a solution for this equation. Question number 3. Solve 3 into 5z minus 7 minus 2 into 9z minus 11 is equal to 4 into 8z minus 13 minus 17. So this is pretty much simple. So all we need to do is we just calculate the values. So 5 3s are 15z minus 21 minus 18z plus 22 is equal to 32z minus 70 minus 52 minus 17. So again the same thing, let's first bring all the variables on one side. So 15z minus 18z, and from here also we will bring minus 32z will be equal to minus 52 minus 17 minus 22 plus 21. So let us solve this. So this would become 15z minus 50z is equal to, this entire thing would be equal to minus 91 plus 21. So this becomes minus 35z is equal to minus 70, or we can say z is equal to minus 70 by minus 35. So 35 2s are 70, minus minus will cancel out, so we will get 2. So therefore z equal to 2 is a. Hello friends, this video on whole numbers part 4 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So let us in a similar way look at subtraction on number line. Let's say that you want to subtract 6 from 11. So it is 11 from which you want to subtract 6. So the first thing we need to do is we need to locate 11. Where is 11? This is 11. Now we want to subtract a number from 11. So which side we will move? Now we had learned before that greater numbers are present on the right hand side. So basically when we are adding, we will move on the right hand side, because when we are adding something to a number, we are actually increasing the value of the number. Let's say if I add 2 to 11, that means we are increasing the value of the number. So we will move to the right hand side. So we will make the jumps on the right hand side. That is why you saw that during addition we jumped on the right hand side. Now in this case we are subtracting something, we are reducing something from 11. So basically we are going towards a smaller number. So it is very obvious that since we are subtracting 6 from 11, so the result is going to be something which is lesser than 11, because we are reducing 6 from 11. So this time we will move towards the left hand side. And how many jumps we will make? 6 jumps. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 jumps from 11, and where do we reach? We reach at 5. So this shows that 11 minus 6 would be 5. So basically while we add or subtract on a number line, we just need to remember a very simple concept, that first you locate a number to which you want to add or from which you want to subtract. If you want to add something, jump towards the right. If you want to subtract something, jump towards the left. Simple? Yeah. So one simple way to remember this is GR. So you want greater number, move towards right. You want smaller number, move towards left. So greater and smaller, greater, the word greater, GR, EATER. So greater and smaller. So you want greater number, move towards right. You want smaller number, move towards left. Now how about multiplication on number line? How do we multiply on a number line? This is also going to be very interesting. So let's say you want to multiply 2 and 5. 2 into 5 would be how much? So first thing is we want to multiply 2. What does this mean? 2 into 5 means what? It means that basically 2 is added 5 times. So 2 into 5 is just another way of writing 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Now writing this is tedious and complicated. So to write it in a simpler way, we write it like this. Let's see if we write 10 into 2. What does that mean? That this basically means 10 plus 10. That means we are adding 10 2 times. Now when I say 2 into 5, that means we are adding 2 5 times. So that is the meaning of it. So for this, which point do we want to locate? We do not want to locate any point. It just says that 2 needs to be added for 5 times. So you can start from anywhere. So let us start from 0. So let's say we will start from 0. Now 2 needs to be added 5 times. So the first time when you add 2, so to what will you add 2? You will add to 0, right? Because initially nothing is given. So the first time you add 2, you will add it to 0. Now you are adding something, so you will move towards the right. So 1, 2. So this is the first time you added 2. So basically this is your one jump in one way. You can say that. So this is the one time that you have added 2. How many times you want to add 2? 5 times. So let's add it second time. So you reach at 4. Let's add it third time. You reach at 6. Fourth time. You reach at 8. Fifth time. So where do you reach? You reach at 10. So if you add 2 for 5 times, then you will reach at 10, which proves that 2 into 5 is 10. So basically what we did here is, now whenever we are multiplying two things, we are basically trying to say that the first letter is being added these many times. So 2 is added 5 times. So the first 2 that you add, you have to add that from 0, because initially you had nothing. So the first time you added a 2. You again added another 2. You again added another 2. So every time you are saying a 2, that 2 would correspond to 2 jumps. So that is why you see you are jumping from 2 to 4. So you are actually taking 2 jumps. So similarly here you are actually taking 2 jumps because you are adding 2 at one time. So we located 0, then we took 5 times jumps, and each jump corresponded to a 2. And we reached at 10, which proved that 2 into 5 is equal to 10. So this is how we can multiply on a number line. So we saw that how we add, subtract, multiply whole numbers on a number line. Let us now take another example of multiplication, because multiplication might sound confusing to a lot of you. So let's say now we want to multiply 4 into 3. Now what is the meaning of 4 into 3? This basically means that 4 is added 3 times. So this actually means 4 plus 4 plus 4. So that means first we will have to add 4 3 times. So we will start from 0. This is 0. So from here we add 4. That means we directly go to 4 here. Now this is just one time that we added 4. Now we have to add like this 4 how many times? 3 times. Let's add 4 second time. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically we will reach here. So 4 is added 2 times. Now the third time is left. Again 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is now added for 3 times. And where have we reached? We have reached 12. So this shows that 4 into 3 is 12. So here also we made 3 times jump, and each jump was for 4. Solution for this equation.